Hi, Joan.
Hi.
Can you tell me about how you're connected to the boys?
Yes, I've known them since they were 4. It's one of our favorite stories. We tell the story all the time about that. So I've known them for years and years and years. Tonight is this kind of grand finale of a kind of a recent maturation that they've gone through. And it's going to be so stellar for everybody to see where they are right now. A lot of kids right about this age do make a quantum leap, and the boys have. And it's just thrilling, so I can hardly wait for everyone to see it.
All their amazing growth and changes and maturity that they've gained over all these years. It's just been so beautiful to watch them grow and become beautiful, wonderful men, young men that they're becoming. And this is really exciting. We're really excited.
What are you excited about for tonight, Raina?
Well, it's kind of like meow.
It's kind of like meow, like a cat.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Ocean Phoenix.
It's just such a proud moment for me as a dad. I would watch these little guys overcome so many hardships, and all the way from starting off, I didn't know if they were going to live, if they were going to make it, and now here they are, sharing their hearts and their message with the world, and inspiring people to participate in making the world more beautiful. And River and Bodhi are making the world more beautiful. And as a dad, that's like all I could ever hope for.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see their light shining, and I love how deeply they know who they are and want to share it with the world.
Hand on the bottom, hand on the bottom, hand, somebody else, hand on the top. All right, this is it. This is it. You're totally ready.
Yes.
You're totally good.
Yes.
And you're just going to make people
I know.
happy all
Just-
night long.
Yes.
We're gonna make ourselves happy too.
Just be ourselves.
But you're passing on something super important. That was your goal.
We need to make our voices be heard.
That's right. And I'm proud of you. All right, here we go. This is the kind of audience where the boys and I know to expect that sort of sound coming from you and enthusiasm. And there are people here tonight who haven't really worked with the boys a lot or know the boys, and they're talking to me about how loving it is in this space. And everyone who knows this family knows that's the case. I'm Joan Harrington. I'm the teacher. I've been around these guys since they were 4. And those people who are here tonight that haven't seen them for a while are going to see this quantum leap they've just taken in maturation. And it happens to kids at this age. This is what happens around this age, and then again around the junior year, and then again a couple years after graduation. And all of you probably can remember one day recognizing that when you were younger, oh, I just heard myself say something really smart. And you feel this change taking place. And I've got a lot of brain background, and that's really the case. That's what happens. So tonight, you're going to see a new poise, a new self-control, a lot of wonderful work that's gone together. They've worked on this for a long, long time. All of this art is theirs. And the research that they put into their speech, it's theirs. And the wording is theirs. And the wording's very beautiful. And on top of that, we studied Martin Luther King and Gandhi's voices, and also some more infamous voices that are scarier that have been in history, to decide what kind of voice we wanted to use for this. So I have a Martin Luther King quote, but before I say that, one of the things that began the boys on this path is that the recent politics was very upsetting to them. And they would come, and it was just blowing them away. It was on their mind more than anything else. And we talked about how do we do this? How do we make a change? And then one day, my daughter was visiting. She lives in Australia. She's a marine biologist of the Great Barrier Reef. And I told them that she was struggling with that too, because the reef is in such dire straits right now because of global warming. And the boys wanted to do something about that. wanted to do something. What can we do? So this is it, and it's going to be on YouTube, and it's going to go and go and go, and that's their wish, that it goes and goes. So here's my Martin Luther King quote. It's perfect for tonight. We have flown the air like birds and swum the seas like fishes, but have yet to learn the simple act of walking the earth like brothers. These two brothers walk this earth with deep sensitivity, deep intelligence, and deep creativity, and it's an honor. And everybody in here who works with the boys feels the same way. It's a joy, an honor, and inspiration.
Thank you for coming. Our first thing is a chart to explain the physical science of global warming and how global warming works. So I have a paper to explain the physical science of global warming. Our planet has always had a livable climate because of what is called the greenhouse effect, a kind of protective atmosphere that is surrounding the Earth. This kept us cool but comfortably warm forever until the last 100 to 150 years. Now, human inventions have changed the gases in our atmosphere by adding too much CO2 from factories and cars and toxins from agriculture. We have made the atmospheric layer too dense and the sun is captured, which overheats the earth, causing global warming. Ice caps are melting. The reef is dying. And impacting poor health and dangerous extreme storms. This is a new concern which I hope to inform you about, and I hope you will pass this information on.
The physical science of global warming. Global warming has grown over the last 150 years to become a threat to the Earth. Pre-global warming, there was a protective layer which kept our planet at a nice warm temperature because of the greenhouse effect. The greenhouse effect is an atmospheric layer of gas that allows sunlight to go in and out. It brings us warmth without overheating. It's worked since the beginning of life on Earth. Then came the industrial age, with an increase in toxic gases, mainly CO2, which thickens our protection and does not allow the heat to escape, causing global warming. In other words, the heat is trapped here because global warming is real.
And now we have a chart to show you that visually. Ready?
Yeah, this is to explain what we just read about. We thought you might not be able to follow that, so we made a visual for you.
Here we have the atmosphere. Less ice.
This is the greenhouse effect. Here you can see that what happens is what's always worked well since the beginning of time is the sun comes into the earth, warms us, and then goes back into outer space. But what happens is, because you can see, is factories, mainly CO2, factories and cars create toxic gases, mainly CO2, that rise into our atmosphere and thickens it, so the heat tries to bounce back into outer space, but it cannot.
And the earth is warming.
And it gets trapped here
Yeah.
because of that.
And it causes less ice and snow from melting, more droughts and forest fires.
Rising sea level and warming seasons are also caused by the sun. And then the coral becomes overheated. easily because, I mean, coral lives in warm water, but what happens is,
It gets too hot.
yeah, the water gets too hot and the coral
It damages it.
damages it. You can explain about the bleaching now if you want.
Yes. It's like dried bone, and when hurricanes come, it just wipes out the coral because it's fragile now
And hurricanes are more stronger than normal
because of global warming.
because of global warming. As you've seen lately, there's been a lot of craziness in the weather.
Any questions about this chart?
Is the orange on the bottom, is that coral?
Yeah.
And why are the seas rising, guys?
Because seas are rising because the ice is melting.
And when water gets warmer, it rises.
What lives are being impacted from all this?
Everyday people.
Yes.
How can we fix this? Well, we can all spread the word together. That's what we're doing. Is we're here to inspire you and get you all active.
Yes.
So, if that's all we have, then
My speech now, it is called "It Takes a Whole World to Stop Global Warming." One of the areas I want to talk about is the Great Barrier Reef, which borders the east coast of Australia and the Coral Sea. It is an amazing structure, home to many things. It is the largest natural structure formed and created by living organisms. Green turtle. Many turtles live in the Great Barrier Reef, but the population is going down because of global warming. One is the green sea turtle, and this is a life-size acrylic painting I did of a green sea turtle. As you can see right over here. It is called the green turtle because of the green fat under its shell. The shell is a greenish bronze. Green turtles are huge. They weigh 240 pounds to 420 pounds as full-grown adults. As babies nearly hatch out of a shell, they are very small, only 3 1/4 inches long, and their shells are soft. Many people try to protect them when they hatch. They have a lot of predators like birds and crabs while they try to hurry to the sea. Turtles have a very challenging life. At birth, hatching from an egg, they are met with confusing bright lights from hotels, but they need to follow the moonlight on the water. Once at sea, they have other problems too, like fishing nets and plastic bags that look like jellyfish, but can strangle them. If they live at the Great Barrier Reef, they will find the reef is dying due to global warming, which makes bleaching a serious. We need to take action immediately to help protect it and spread the word. What are you willing to do? I know most of you care about these beautiful turtles, and I think you should be careful about plastic bags, but do you realize that global warming is the main reason the Great Barrier Reef is dying? The rising temperature is making it more fragile to natural forces. The reef is the breeding ground of the green sea turtles. Would you like to help save these turtles? Yes! You can help by writing to the Australian government. We need to come together to protect the reef and the earth from global warming. Any questions?
How long does a green turtle live?
What?
We don't know.
We don't know.
That old?
Oh, and here's something I made. This is some of the troubles. This is the wheel of trouble. Some of the troubles the green sea turtle goes through. Here of pollution that they struggle with, like plastic bags and oil, and bright lights at nesting grounds when they're babies, and products that they're made out of, like meat, boots, soup, combs and bracelets, and lost on here is some dangers that they struggle with, like nets. But their biggest trouble isn't on here, isn't on this wheel, which is global warming. What?
Do you know of any, I know that you really like different cultures and stuff.
Yes?
Do you know any names for the green sea turtle in any other languages?
Oh yeah, I know turtle in Hawaiian, which is hanu.
Thank you.
Oh, I should read my conclusion. No.
Not yet. Yeah.
Your turn.
We each chose an animal, and my animal that I have drawing of is the mandarin fish. And this is an enlarged version. In real life, it's really quite small. And in my speech, I talk about them and the threats that they have right now. Coral reefs represent the bounty of life in warm, shallow seas, where the sun can penetrate. They take thousands of years to form. They're formed by the buildup of millions of tiny skeletons of microorganisms called coral. They teem with life, from itty-bitty phytoplankton, the basis for all life in the ocean, to huge sharks. One of these many unique creatures is the mandarin fish, a small but dazzling work of art. It's only 3¼ inches long, but colorfully patterned, camouflaged to perfection. Unfortunately, they have many threats to their survival. People buy these little guys as fancy pets, but in captivity, they do not live long enough to reproduce. So this is a cause for endangerment. Because these fish are so colorful, they are finders keepers. This is ironic because predators remember that this fish is the one that gave them such a bad taste due to mucus on the scales of the mandarin. This amazing, tiny but cute fish is in trouble. We might be its only hope, if only we band together.
Let's do it.
It's home. The reef is being destroyed due to a lot of things, but mostly climate change. But we can rise up together and fight this problem. Global warming is a real issue. It's easy to see the polar ice melting. However, the reef is just as important for the oxygen supply for this, our blue planet. You cannot see the damage, but it's there. Divers are horrified at the sight. The reef is not used to these rising temperatures. Tropical storms hit the reef hard and can now easily break it apart. It is more sensitive than usual. These mandarin fish are one of the prettiest animals in the reef, but all of them deserve a safe home, and you deserve the reef survival as well. Things that are helpful include writing to the Australian government, boycotting tropical fish as pets, conserve your energy, use solar power and recycling. Spread the word. For more information and inspiration, check out this documentary, An Inconvenient Sequel, Truth to Power. Thank you for hearing me out. We will succeed if we stay positive, active, and together forever.
Any questions?
Do the mandarins swim in schools, or do they live solitary life?
Probably schools, yeah. in schools.
I have a question. If this is so bad, why aren't we doing anything about it right now?
I don't know. Our current president doesn't believe in science, but this is what the science is showing. Yes?
We can actually do something right now to decrease global warming, which is eating less meat, because animal agriculture is a huge contributor.
Yes, it's a huge contributive. When animals, the gases from hoofed animals are mixing with the factory pollution.
All hoofed animals, which are ungulates, have this gas in them, but what ends up happening is that because of our consumption, it goes more like crazy than normal, and all the gases kind of, mix in with the toxic gases in our atmosphere. But of course, the main cause of global warming is, of course, factories and cars. And not to blame us, we didn't know back then when we started making these things. We thought it was helpful, which it is, but it's also caused global warming, so now we have to live with our mistakes. Alright, if there aren't any more questions, I guess we're just about finished. Yes? Sure.
Can you talk at all about what your process was like creating this incredible presentation, like either the art, how you made, for instance, how you made that beautiful turtle, or how you made that beautiful fish, or what your research, any information you might give us about that process, even a little bit.
I know they'd like to know about the kind of paint you guys
Oh yeah, I used acrylic paint, and we used mica paint too, which is a rock. Mica paint.
It's like ground up rocks, which give it by fish you can see a sparkly effect.
Beautiful.
Yes?
How did you feel as you were learning about this issue and thinking about the world that you're going to live in? Did you feel like despair? Did you?
A little bit, but you can't let these issues get yourself down too much, because if you're always like in your lower brain, you can't do anything. So we have to rise. We have to stay positive and not worry too much, but stay active as well.
The boys have each other, and it's an incredible bond that they have. And so they alternately talk about issues that do bother them, and then they give each other positive ideas all the time. And it's a beautiful thing that we can all use as an example, because this is a difficult time that we're living in, and everybody in this space, I know, cares about the earth, and we need to help each other stay up. And these guys do it all the back and forth all the time.
Should I read this now?
I think so.
Thank you for coming. I hope you will protect the world from climate change and spread the word. The earth needs all our help. Thank you and good night.
Bodhi has a conclusion.
And now it's my turn to end. Thank you for coming. We appreciate your interest in the fate of our lush planet. It gives us hope to see so many people actually caring about these issues. Try not to lose your heads. stay in your hearts, stay active, and support one another. Thank you again, and good night.
Great. It felt amazing. We just need to make our voices be heard, stay together.
He's leaving us.
I was trying not to tear up during my speech because I knew that if I started letting the emotions get to me and cry, I wouldn't deliver that well. So I just, held back the tears, and
I wasn't crying.
Just spoke from my heart.
Yes, I did that too, but I wasn't crying.